Scary story time while I make slime imaginary friend edition. Yeah, I know I've been gone, y'all, but the girl is 21 now. She's 21. I turned 21 July 31st, okay? Jumping right into it. Katie and her family moved to this old house in the middle of the country, right? Now, get your money's worth and what? You need to let it drain. Yeah, clock that T. Anyways, like any old house, it was creepy, it was making weird noises, and the atmosphere was suspiciously thick there. But you know, most people who live in creepy houses tend to just brush things like that off. Now, about like 4 to 5 months in, Katie started to notice that her little sister was talking to this person who wasn't there called Mr. Green. Now, Katie brought it up to her family, and her mom and dad just thought it was the most cutest thing in the world. Her little sister finally has an imaginary friend. For some reason, they thought that this was so cute and funny, and they thought that this was her imagination, if one will. Mr. Green would go everywhere with them. Her little sister was always talking to Mr. Green, and this started to annoy Katie for some reason, you know, teenage hormones, whatever, and she told her little sister that Mr. Green wasn't real. Now, when she went to sleep that night, guess what? The next morning when she woke up, Katie had bruises going up her arm. She decides to brush it off because, you know, hey, they're unexplained bruises. You know, she could have bumped her arm when she went in the shower, anything. On one night when they all having dinner all around the dinner table, Katie's little sister starts crying. She starts throwing a fit. She's literally just mad, and her family just can't describe why she's so mad, like what's going on with her. And she just keeps saying, Mr. Green is mad at me. Katie didn't end up going to sleep until like 3 o'clock that night. Okay, so she was obviously up thinking like, this is so weird. Her little sister is crying about Mr. Green. She had these what am I saying? She had these suspicious bruises going up and down her arm. Now she really starting to think something creepy is going on. Katie finally falls asleep, and around like 7:30 that morning, she hears her mom screaming, and so she gets up to see what's going on, and her little sister has the same bruises but going up and down her arms and legs. And her little sister keeps repeating, Mr. Green did it to me because I told him I wanted a new friend. Something like that. Oh honey, you and Mr. Green would have been gone the next day. I don't know what to tell you. Now, Katie automatically felt bad, and she was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so sorry, sis. And her little sister was like, it's okay, Mr. Green has accepted my apology. Okay. So that day goes by with ease. Her little sister is not having any more episodes, and she keeps saying it's because Mr. Green is her friend again. She's not mad at Mr. Green anymore, and he's not mad at her. He's forgiven her. Again, Katie thinks that this is weird, but then she, again, chucks it off to her sister's imagination. Again, the sister would have been gone. The little sister would have been gone. I have nails, so it's really hard to poke, but 3 a.m. that night, she had to go to the bathroom. So Katie gets up, and then she hears her little sister giggling along with this grown, raspy male voice. So automatically, she running in the room to see what her sister got going on, because she's only 6 years old, and she literally just sees her sister sitting on the bed completely alone with these big eyes looking at her, talking about some, hey sis, Mr. Green says you're not supposed to be here. You're right. Let me just leave and mind my business. Y'all could have this room. Y'all could have the whole house, as a matter of fact. So Katie couldn't go to sleep after that. She was so spooked out because she literally heard a man, a grown man at that, an old one, in the room with her little sister. And when she went in there, nobody was there. So she's starting to think, okay, Mr. Green, this guy gotta be real. I gotta do some digging. So she starts trying to search up who was in the house previously, but there was just nothing on the house. Like, it was just said it was built in the 1930s to 40s. So she's like, you know what, let's go into the attic. So she decides to go up in the attic, y'all, and guess what? She finds this old box with pictures, and in the pictures, oh, I got goosebumps again. In the pictures is a family of 3. A man, a tall man wearing a green suit, and his wife and a child that looks a lot like her sister. Y'all, look at my goosebumps. Oh my gosh, look at my goosebumps. I don't know if y'all can see them. Okay, y'all, so she doesn't disclose this in the email, but somehow, some way, she figured out how they, or who was living there previously to them. And the house was built in the 1940s, and there was this man named Elias Green and his wife and child, and he unalived his wife and child, but they could not find him. He just completely vanished and disappeared. Nobody could find him. And when she seen this, tears ran down her spine. She immediately ran to her mom, showed her mom the picture. A couple of days later, they had the house blessed, and from then on, her sister never really mentioned Elias Green again, but like, she still can feel his presence. And I just think that's so freaking creepy. Oh my gosh, my phone. Scary story time on high had tapeworms while I make slime. Isn't that just so cute? Yeah. I was like 4 or 5 at this time and I got it from the sandbox. And I think they were pinworms. Get your money's worth and let it drain. Yeah. I didn't forget. I was with my mom and my grandma and I got it from the sandbox, right? So one day I was just scooting on the floor like a dog. They had noticed it and they were like, maybe she's just crazy. Maybe she's just a weirdo, right? And time goes on and then they realize, wait a second, she's still doing this. Let's take her to the hospital. Worms, I think it was pinworms, not tapeworms. You know, it was like 12 o'clock in the morning. They took me. Okay, cool. And then the doctor seen that they were worms all over my no-no areas. I'm so happy this didn't happen to me like at an age where I could remember, because I would never be the same. They shined like a special light on my no-no areas, and they were just there crawling. Like, you know, nothing's crazy about that. They were just looking at us. So they basically gave me medication to flush it out, and they also gave me a shot on my butt. Let's talk about the exploding well incident in 1970 while I make slime. Yum. Yes, y'all, slime history is back. Now, this happened in 1970, and yes, a well exploded everywhere, and chunks of well meat just flew everywhere and dented people's cars. Yes. I'm gonna be showing the clip at the end, by the way. Get your what? Get your money's worth in what? Let it drain. November 12th, 1970, in Florence, Oregon, a 45-foot 8-ton sperm whale washed up on a beach, dead. Now, naturally, it started to decompose. Obviously, y'all, the smell, oh my gosh, y'all, I got bit by a mosquito. I don't even know when. Anyways, the smell was so bad that people started to literally complain about it. Now, whales aren't the easiest thing to dispose of. Oh my gosh, I put too much. Now, here are the problems that they started to face. They couldn't bury it because it was too big to bury, and it would eventually just float right back up. And if they left it there, sharks and other scavengers would come trying to get, you know, the dead flesh. So the Oregon Highway Division came up with the best plan. They thought, blow it up. It's dynamite. Yeah, because how else would you blow something up? Now, for some reason, they didn't think that when they blew it up, the bigger chunks of the well would just explode everywhere. No, they thought that what would happen was tiny pieces of the well would explode everywhere, and the smaller scavengers like seagulls and other creatures would come and eat, you know, the matter. Now, they decided to use 20 cases of TNT. They did not need that much. Now, obviously, there was some nosy people because you don't see a well exploding every day. So there was a big crowd that, you know, gathered near the blow up site. Now, technically, their theory did work. The well did blow up, but not into the tiny pieces that they thought it would. It blew up into literal chunks. Pieces of well, the size of suitcases, rained down on everyone. So the entire parking lot was just raining well chunks. And the well chunks were so big that they were denting people's cars, y'all. And guess what? They had to bury the well anyway because the well was too big. The well was too big, so they had to bury it anyway. Okay. Slime history is back, y'all. It's back. Crazy part about this all is that it's all on YouTube. And I watched this video before. Like, me and my sisters, I believe we watched it. I watched this video a long time ago, but I never really understood the history. I just knew that a well blew up. Slime history is back.
Our camera stopped rolling in the overwhelming smell. A parked car over a quarter of a mile from the blast site was the target of one large chunk. The passenger compartment literally smashed. Fortunately, no human was hit as badly as the car. However, everyone on the scene was covered with small particles of dead whale.
Scary story time while I make slime. Cult edition. Yeah. Get your money's worth and let it drain. You already know. By the way, this is unactivated slime. What? This is unactivated slime that I'm reactivating. Yeah. This story time was sent in by a man named Paul, and it's about his friend Jenna who accidentally encountered a cult. Okay. Now, Jenna, she loved photography, and she also loved exploring abandoned places and the supernatural because she was obsessed with it. Now, one weekend, Jenna and her friends decided to check out this old abandoned mansion that had been abandoned since the 70s. And you know, that's right up her alley. She loves stuff like that. Now, the mansion that they were going to see had a lot of urban legends surrounding it, such as cults, sacrifice, rituals. And you know, they still decided to go, and they arrived at sunset. I don't know why they wouldn't go explore it in the daytime, but no, they said sunset. Yeah. The place was huge. It was everything that you would expect out of an abandoned house. Broken walls, broken windows, graffiti everywhere. But the weird part about this place was there was little to no sound, y'all. There was no sound, no wind, no animals, nothing. They've been exploring for about an hour at this point when one of Jenny's friends notices this spiral staircase that leads down into the basement. Now, when Jenna sees the staircase, she's like, yeah, y'all, I'm not going down there. Like, y'all can go do that. And her friends are like, stop being scary. Like, come on. Like, you really believe in all that. She ends up getting peer pressured and goes down the stairs. What did we expect? Now, in the basement, it's pitch black, so they turn on their flashlights, and that's when they see it. They see symbols everywhere. Weird stick figures just look real creepy. And then they come across this stone that kind of looks like an altar with candles just like kind of burned out, wax everywhere, just ugh. Now, Jenny and this one other friend we gonna call BB. BB and Jenny is like, y'all, this is giving cult. Like, we gotta get out of here. I don't trust this place. Let's go. And the other friend is like, no, like, we gotta explore more. Like, it's not that serious, y'all. Like, it's nothing creepy. I see me, once I say I'm uncomfortable and you're still, no, let's stay, I'm leaving you. Like, you can stay here by yourself. Now, while they're going tit for tat, they hear this weird humming noise in the back of the basement. Jenna says it wasn't just one voice humming. It sounded like it was a group of people just humming in the back. And that's when she said, yeah, I'm gone. Like, I'm leaving y'all. Y'all either coming with me or getting left behind. See, this is the part that would have had me. Remember the weird symbols that they seen in the beginning when they first went into the basement? As they were exiting the basement, they seen these weird symbols again, but this time they were glowing a faint red color. And at first they thought it was the reflection from their flashlights, and they quickly realized it wasn't that. Now, as they're exiting, Jenna is in the back of the line. Wouldn't have been me, but she turns around one more time and she sees somebody with a candle in a robe at the foot of the basement stairs. She ran. She bolted out of there. They screaming, they running out. And when they exit the mansion, they see more people surrounded in robes, holding hands, singing, swaying backwards and forth. I'm getting goosebumps. Oh my God. At this point, they're all the way freaked out. So they ended up ditching their car and running straight to the road. And that's when they see like a truck driver, and the truck driver basically drives them back to the town and all that good stuff. Now, Paul says that Jenna has never been the same since she went to go see that mansion. And it's not just because she's freaked out. It's like her energy is off and she always feels like someone is watching her. Shouldn't have went down there. Jenna ended up moving back home, and you know, they're kind of long distance besties now. Like, I'm gonna be playing with slime where I share the diss track that I made about my man, because y'all been bugging me about it. Yeah, we ready? Now, ain't nobody said this rap was funny, but it sure is funny. Also, this beat is not mine. I got it off of YouTube. My brain keeps saying you're a shooter, but I ain't got no time for a new one. He told me he was a good one. He got snakes on his head like Medusa. I'm a good girl, I don't go out. I don't know what the nigga be complaining about. How hard is it to open your mouth? See, this the crap I be talking about. I could be like them regular hoes, never hit you up and leave you alone. But instead I'm always on your phone, waiting for your black butt to go home. You a hypocrite, you don't act right. But how do you expect that act right? You the type of nigga who is psycho. I think we can agree that I'm right though. I'm unhinged, y'all. Like, I just be doing stuff when I'm bored, and he had made me mad one day, and it wasn't even like a real mad. It was like, really, like, really. He thought it was hilarious, even though I was being serious. But he started acting right. The rapper's trash. We know this, but you know, my favorite line is, he got snakes on his head like Medusa. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? I'm not a rapper, y'all. I just do things, you know, for fun. Yeah, and I'm corny, so yeah. I low-key do not want his friends or family to see this, because I swear I'm normal, y'all. I swear I am normal. He just makes me crazy sometimes. Scary story time on high was stalked and chased by racist white men while I make slime. It wasn't just me, it was me, my sisters, and my dad's girlfriend. Get your money's worth and let it drain. So right down the street from Las Vegas High School, there is this freaking burrito spot. She takes us or whatever, and we notice that there is these white men in these red trucks, like just playing kind of like weird racist music, but we're minding our business because they're minding theirs, right? And we make it to the burrito spot, whatever, cool, right? And why does my freaking shaving cream activate my slime? So we get our burritos or whatever, and we walk out and we notice that we don't see this truck anymore. So we're still walking, and then next thing you know, we see the truck pull in to go to the gas station. Even though they were just parked somewhere else, they're pulling to the gas station. Okay, cool. So we're still walking, we're chatting, we're smacking it up. And why does me and my dad's girlfriend, we peeped that this red truck keeps spinning the block. So my dad's girlfriend told us to speed it up so we can make it home, whatever. Okay, cool. So we start walking faster, and we don't see this red truck anymore, whatever. We make it to the gate of Las Vegas High School, which was my high school. So we're walking, and then we start to hear this loud music, right? So we turn around, and we see the same, red truck with these white men inside. But this time they're screaming at us, and they're basically screaming like, the N-word, and they throw beer cans, and like some thing with liquid in it, but it misses us. And we started to, my dad's girlfriend told us to run, so we started to run, and they started to like say, run, N-word, run. Like, it's not funny, but that's what they started to say, right? So I'm sitting here, I'm running, I'm booking it, right? As soon as they sped up that car, I was like, we ain't making it. Like, they're on the car, we're on foot, like, we're not gonna make it. And they're literally just screaming racial slurs at us. And then they just speed off, laughing. And we literally, like, okay, so how... We lived in the gated community that was right next to Las Vegas High School. We literally ran, booked it, and then jumped the fence to our house. And we locked all the doors, and we were just quiet for a good hour. And I'm not even gonna lie, we were all scared, even my dad's girlfriend. That was one of the scariest racial things that I've been through, or racist things that I've been through. But it's not the scariest, I won't lie to you. And by the way, to the people in my last video talking about that's what you get because you listen to Melanie Martinez. Put a pin in that, pause the conversation. First of all, I literally stated in the beginning of the video that freaking story time was 3 years old. So yes, I was listening to Melanie Martinez 3 years ago because I didn't know that she was accused of being a freaking rapist. I guess this is just my opinion, but I don't think anybody deserves to get raped or sexually assaulted. So for the people in my comments talking about that's what you get, you got raped. For one, I was never raped. I never once claimed in that video that I was ever sexually assaulted, so I don't know where y'all are getting that one from. Y'all just need to listen to the video next time. I don't listen to Melanie Martinez anymore, okay? Ask that question before you start saying mean, hurtful things. Anyways, this bad boy, this is the best glue. I'm not sponsored yet, but this is the best glue, especially if you're working with laundry detergent. Comes out thick and nice every single time. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Make slime with me while I talk about the things that used to scare me as a child. Yes. Starting off crazy, I used to be afraid of angels, like the concept. Well, get your money's worth and what? Let it drain. Okay, I'm not gonna put that much because I always like make it overflow. So let me explain what I mean though. Okay, so explain what I mean by that is I literally used to be afraid of angels because like I remember when I was a little girl, my grandma would be like, oh, like remember the Bible says fear not, so if you ever see an angel, don't be scared. And the concept of me seeing a freaking angel, it just didn't sit right with me because I was like, oh no, like, and then on top of that, when I found out what the biblically accurate angel looked like, y'all, no. Like in my head as a child, I was looking at it from like a spiritual, like ghostly thing point of view. Number two, a lot of y'all know this because I made story times about it, but I used to be actively afraid of freaking sewer drains. And like, truth be told, even now, I still am afraid of sewer drains. But like, let me explain why I used to be afraid. Y'all know the story, well, some of y'all do. My mom, when I was a child, she literally decided to make up, bro, my cat. She decided to make up this whole thing about people living in the drains, y'all, and it stuck with me. Like, my mom, I almost got left on the bus numerous amounts of times because there was a drain. Like, y'all, I don't mess with drains. It was just the fact that in my head, it was like people are living under the drains. They're the ones that cause you to drop things and all that different types of stuff. It just really stuck with me. And even now, I'm scared of drains in the way of like, what if I just fall through it right now? Like, what if I just drop my keys? And I've explained this before. Like, it's just like, wow. some more glue because I think I activated it. Okay, I think I'm on number 3, Ghost. How ironic it is because, you know, I used to see them a lot, but like Ghost used to scare the crap out of me because it was just like, bro, you are not here anymore and I'm seeing you. Why am I seeing you? I'm not supposed to see you. 4 is Michael Jackson, and my friend, my mutual, she made a video like this, so I'm gonna tag her. But yeah, Michael Jackson used to scare the life out of me. Why? Because I was a child, and all them stories that they made up about him, they stuck with me because I thought that he really took a spoon and scraped his skin off. Not to mention the stop it, Miko. Not to mention like the scary games that they made about Michael Jackson. Like, they was dead wrong. I used to be actively afraid of eagles because like how big they were, and I was like, as a small child, the only thing I'm thinking about is that thing swooping down and picking me up and flying me away to its children. Okay, so like I definitely used to be afraid of eagles. And by the way, y'all, I always overactivate this slime like every freaking time, so I'm trying here. But yeah, those are some of the things that used to scare me as a child. Let me know if y'all want a part 2 because I'ma always give it to y'all. Okay, y'all, please don't mind my trash can, my trash bag on my door. The reason why it looks like that and the trash is coming out is not because the bag is full, but it's because my cat, she like literally like scratches at the bag and she jumps inside of the trash can. And I don't have a trash can yet. So story time of how I almost died while I make slime. This happened when I was in the 10th grade, and unfortunately, it wasn't just me who almost kicked the bucket, you know? It was my girl best friend, her sister, and then my 2 sisters. So, yeah, we all almost said bye-bye really quickly. Let's rewind a little bit. So, I had this girl best friend, and we only hung out in school. Like, we never hung out off campus. So, she came up to me one day. She was like, girl, we should totally hang out off campus. We should go to a mall or something. I asked my dad about it, and surprisingly, he had said yes, which was weird to me because, for one, he's a strict dad, and for 2, it was a school night. This is gonna be so ugly, but I don't care. I didn't go flakes. Vegas has little to no malls, so my auntie, she ended up dropping us off at like this Walmart outlet place, and my friend, she wasn't having it. She was like, girl, this is whack. Let's go to the swap meet down the street. Whenever someone from Vegas tells you down the street, they are lying to you. Y'all, we walked like 130 blocks to get to this indoor swap meet. And we finally was there. We bought a couple of things, you know. Then we go to McDonald's to check in with our people because McDonald's had free Wi-Fi and our phones was not on. Our last destination for the night was supposed to be Target because we wanted to play hide and go seek in Target. So as we're walking to Target, I see these boys across the street and I see them like gesture. Later to find out they were throwing up gang signs. In my 15-year-old head, I really did think that they were like calling us over there. So we ended up going over there, and somehow, some way, I don't know how they did this, they convinced a couple of hood dudes to play hide and go seek in Target with us. As we're walking to Target, y'all, we end up stopping in front of like this auto zone, right? So everyone's talking to each other, and I'm kind of like talking but not really, like I'm paying attention because it's nighttime in Vegas. Do I have to repeat myself? It was nighttime in Vegas. I wear glasses, right? And I didn't have my glasses on. Out of nowhere, I see like this man kind of coming in from the shadows. I immediately had tapped my girl best friend and was like, look at this dude, like he's coming near us, he kind of looks like a little off. And he immediately starts screaming in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, y'all, but somehow, some way, I understood him say, oh, y'all stole from my shop. And he was pointing like a weapon at us. It was like a wrench, like a tool, like a car tool or something like that. The boys that were supposed to play hide and go seek with us, they took off. So in our heads, they did something to this man. This dude is chasing after the guys, right? So we book it too, like we run. As we're running, right, I turn around. This man is sprinting towards a bunch of little girls, like booking it. So we're screaming on the top of our lungs, but again, it's Vegas at nighttime. We're running out of stamina at this point, and we see like this little ice cream shop that was tucked in at the corner. I was praying that this store was open. So we're screaming, telling them to let us inside. And so like the people in there, like, they're confused. They let us inside. Me and my sister immediately run to the back to where like the cameras were. And my friend, she's up with her sister and my other sister, and they're like trying to explain the situation, like what's going on. So me and my sister, we're back there with the cameras, and we see this guy come up, throw his weapon in the bushes, and come in and start like speaking Spanish to the owner, right? When we first had came in, the owner already looked like he didn't believe us, right? So then like this guy came in, he starts speaking Spanish to him, and obviously we don't understand Spanish. So the guy, he's like, we're about to call the cops. right? So I don't know why we did not let him call the police. In my head, I was like, if the police get called, me and my siblings are never going to be allowed to go out ever again. My friend picked up a whole freaking table as this guy is yelling at her, threatening her. And she's like, move out my way before I throw this at you. And she was like a gangster for real. Like, I was scared in the back. We ended up booking it to like Target, and we ended up calling the boys and asked them like, yo, what happened? Like, what did you do to that man? And they were like, we don't know who that man is. Like we didn't do anything to them. We had just arrived there just like y'all. We also like kind of left that shop because the only reason why he threatened to call the police is because the guy who was like loony, he told him that we stole from his shop. We tried to tell the shop owner, he didn't believe us, but we ended up making it home safely that night, and it was a crazy story to tell. My dad still doesn't know this happened, and I'm 19 now, so yeah. Story time on how I hid my first relationship from my strict dad, and he found out about it while I make bubblegum slime. I wasn't really hiding it from my mom because I'm pretty sure she just wouldn't have cared. Get your money's worth and let it drain. Yeah. I started dating this boy when I was 15 years old. Side note, that was the most toxic relationship I was ever in. So my dad was one of those like fake strict people where he would only act strict if he didn't like something that you were doing. He wasn't really keen to the whole dating idea. When I officially started talking to this boy, oh my gosh, I made it so clear to my siblings, you better not say his name when dad's around. At this point, this boy is just constantly, and when I say constantly, I mean constantly just breaking my freaking heart, right? My dad's girlfriend kind of caught on to the fact that, you know, I was in a relationship or whatever. And I remember one day I was like in their room and she was like, yeah, are you going to tell your dad about like the boy you're dating? So I was behind my dad when she said this, right? Like I was behind him and he cocked his head back so hard, like, y'all, I couldn't even make this up, bro. He looks at me with the most sinister face I've ever seen. And he's like, oh, so you have a boyfriend? And my little sister goes, ooh, like, I like knowing how my dad gets. I was just trying to decline it until I couldn't decline it anymore because I just knew he was going to freaking do too much and give me an hour freaking lecture. My heart is beating at this point. I'm like, oh my gosh, like he done found out. In this stupid freaking lecture, he tells me that I'm going to become a teen mother. I'm just too fast for my age. Like, I was just like, what? Mind you, me and this dude, we didn't even like talk anything sexual, anything freaky at all. He ends up telling me that I need to be a better role model for my sisters. Mind you, my sisters had their first, one of my siblings had their first kiss before me, and they're like 4 years younger than me. So after my dad had found out like I was in a relationship, he would take me and my siblings' phones more, just randomly come into my room and then make a big deal, like start lecturing me and my siblings out of freaking nowhere. He was already doing that before, but he started to do it more. Like I said before, my mom did not care that much that I was dating, mind you, because I don't even think she took it seriously because it was like a long distance thing. It just threw me off when my dad was doing too much because my little sister had her first kiss way freaking before I even had my first boyfriend. And he didn't even make a big deal about it. I knew he was going to over exaggerate though, but here is the bubblegum slime, y'all. Story time on how I hid my first relationship from my strict dad. And scary story time while I tried to make clear slime. For the beginners who want to make slime, get this box. Get this box. Y'all, this kit literally had so much stuff. They got some soft clay. They got food dye. They got glitter pouches. Like, so Miley was at her friend's apartment pretty late, right? And Miley was also intoxicated along with her friend. Get your money's worth and what? Let it drain. We're gonna add some glow-in-the-dark powder, but Miley couldn't drive home, so she decided, hey, let me just get an Uber. Within minutes, the Uber was there. Now, Miley didn't think anything of it because, again, she was intoxicated. When Miley got in the car and said hi to her Uber driver, he didn't say anything back. As a matter of fact, he was just humming. I'm putting a scent in it, by the way. This is what this is, a scent. Yeah. She brushed it off again because guess what? She was drunk, so, like, who is she to argue with, like, someone? Writing blue dye. She noticed something. They were going a completely different direction than her house. So she asked her Uber driver, she was like, hey, like, Where are we going? And again, he didn't say anything. He was just humming. This is honestly where she starts to get a little freaked out because she's been calling for this man to... Okay, that's not the right cap. Okay, y'all, I'm adding the activator. Anyways, she looks at the GPS and she noticed that the GPS is not headed towards her address. She tries to open the door and she realizes that it's locked. It's like child safety. So she's begging, can you please pull me over? And he is not answering her whatsoever. And this is where she noticed he was not humming. This is him laughing, y'all, laughing. Now, when they pulled over, Miley's first thought was to just like, she's trying to get out. She didn't know what she was gonna do. Her heart was beating. So somehow, some way, she unlocked the door and she like rolled out of the car and ran. And she just kept running. She didn't stop. And then when she finally calmed herself down enough, this is when she called Uber support. And guess what? Uber said that that account was deactivated 3 months ago for the same violation, safety. Now, the creepiest part is when she looked back at her friend's ring footage. This is when she realized that she never asked for the Uber driver's name. She just assumed that he was her driver. And then on top of that, she noticed that he didn't really have no ID. He didn't know, my bad. He did not have an Uber like ID, any of that to indicate that he was an Uber driver. So basically, she got into a random person's car. So yeah, and then when she had a feeling to look at her own ring footage. So when she got home, she looked at her footage and she realized that his car was parked at her house for 2 hours a day while she wasn't there. So he was just stalking her for real. Slime is taking forever to activate. I've been mixing for like 50 years. Okay, it's starting to activate. Y'all, I think I'm finally gonna do it and make clear slime properly. Yeah, okay. Anyways. The creepiest part is the day that he picked her up and she ran away, he was still sitting outside of her house before she even got there. So he was assuming that she was immediately going to run to her house and he was waiting for her. You realize how creepy that is? So, y'all, I'm activating this slime, but it's definitely fighting me. It's like it doesn't want to activate, but like the slime is definitely going to be clear in a couple of days. And I wanted to do blue because I love the way blue clear slime looks. It's just so tea. Ooh, look at this. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna add these bead looking things. Oh my gosh, yes. I know this video is like hecka long for no reason, but oh well. I don't think I made the hole big enough. Okay, y'all. Let's do it like that. Yes, we're not gonna add all of them, but we're gonna add enough. Yup. Maybe I should have added the fruit. Ugh, I hate when it does that. Blend it in. Can y'all see it? I think they have glitter, but I'm not going to add glitter. And I'm going to show y'all what it looks like in a couple of days. I don't know how long clear slime takes to turn clear completely, but yeah.